I'm trying to get to you. Yeah, I'm trying to get to you. I wanna get to you, cause I gotta get to you. I would climb 1,000 mountains, swim across the darkest ocean, cause I'm trying to get to you. Yeah, I'm trying to get to you. I wanna get to you, cause I gotta get to you. I gotta get to you.
Just another one hit wonder, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it. Rockstar, you won't get far, and I know you're confused. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Oh man, what a lie, what a time to be alive. How have I survived? Life's a battlefield, 1974.
Happy Halloween as we get into a special spooky edition of NECC. I'm Hail Monkey Man in the booth alongside, is that the greatest investigator of all time? Or is that simply the greatest caster of all time in Tugboat? Joining me as well as we get into some awesome Rocket League Tugboat. It is spooky season. It's actually the peak. It's the precipice. It's the climax of it all as we get to see some of these teams driving towards the climax, second to last week of the season, trying to make the playoffs.
Oh yes, it is spooky season. This is reaching towards the end of our regular season, Monkey Man. I'm Magnum PI, of course. It has been requested many a time. Got to give the people what they want, Monkey Man.
You know what? The only thing that we need more, I mean, if you could somehow take your stash and just like clone it to everyone else, because I lost mine. In fact, I lost like everything that was on my face.
I saw that
at one point.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it is gone and dusted, but I'm going to regrow that over the course of this month. But what is just growing for so many of these students, for so many of these teams, is momentum, because we are, again, like I said, second to last week of the regular season. Postseason will be around the corner. Everyone wants to play their best in and through November with the championships the first weekend, or rather, just whole week of December here for this fall semester. And we have a 3 set of teams that we have not seen on broadcast so far because we've been doing Division 1, Division 2. We're dipping our toes into some Division 3 and 4 action, and all these teams are at the top of their conferences.
Absolutely. Literally, I think we have a grand total of like 5 losses or something like that across the 6 teams that we'll be covering here on the day. You hit the nail on the head there, Monkey Man. We have been covering Division 1, Division 2 teams throughout the NECC season thus far. We're looking at some of the lower divisions, some of the teams that may not as frequently make it to the NECC broadcast today.
Yeah, but also ones that have some fantastic pedigrees. So we're going to go over 2 of them as well as our first matchup of the day. We'll be starting off in Division 3. The biggest difference that we have for NECC between Divisions 1 and 2 and going further on is we go from best of 7 to best of 5, but we're going to Waterloo Warriors, who are sitting at 4-1, same and matched by the Fighting Blue Hens of University of Delaware Varsity, with North, Excess, and Goblin heading off against Stellar, Odds, and Scooter. And tell of the tape here, Tugboat. It's a completely different side of the script when it comes to games won for both these records, and especially game 5s that both these teams have had to go into.
Yeah, the Warriors Gold, they are no stranger whatsoever to extended series. Again, folks, in case you're just tuning in, NECC Division 1 and 2, which was what we've generally been covering, best of 7s. These will be best of 5s. Warriors Gold, again, very familiar with taking series the distance. A little bit of a different story there for the Blue Hens. They like wrapping it up in 3.
Yeah, they got it actually done. 14-3 is their record, and those 3 all come from one single loss. It was a Game 5 loss versus SNHU, and everything else has otherwise been a sweep. A very efficient, very effective, very impactful squad here for the Fighting Blue Hens out of Delaware. And both these teams have a very good chance of locking in a number 1 seed one way or another through tonight and through next week. Here's the pathway to success, Tugboat.
Yep.
The Warriors of Waterloo, if they win tonight, they will be able to control their own destiny and do so again when they face off against the current last seed of the entire conference. I believe that is in the way of the Eagles. Okay, so when they face the Eagles, so they got a chance to take that down. And then Delaware, I mean, with as good as they've been, they have to take on the Terps out of Maryland to then assure that. And the Terps right now match both these teams' records, so this is some spicy end of conference play.
Yeah, so different story when it comes to next week. One of these teams just getting an on paper, by the numbers, so far what we have for the NEC season so far. Easier matchup on paper. Again, University of Delaware, completely different story. We are looking at 2 teams that have exactly the same, like you said, team records coming into this point. Maybe a different story next week. We'll get there when we get there. Warriors Gold. If you take it down here, you're basically looking, like you said, controlling destiny, right? There's so many situations, especially traditional sports, that is talked about, and how a team's record towards the end of a regular season is going to go forth and affect them based on what other teams do. That's what we mean, folks, when Monkey Man and I are saying control own destiny. Much easier for the Warriors, given that they'll have an easier matchup next week. Different story for the Blue Hens.
Yeah, I think that on the other side of things, I talked about kind of they have the most games played, 24 out of everyone. The next one up are actually the Tiffin Dragons varsity, as they have a total of 20. And matching, sadly, the opposite side of efficiency, Eagles White, they have just as many games played as University of Delaware, but instead of it being 14-3, they're 2-15. So it feels like, you know, you would just simply go, take care of business, get the job done in front of you. And from what I remember and from what I know when it comes to our total bracket process going into the postseason, top 4 will be making it. So you have the sweatfest of these 3 4-1s, especially these 2 in front of you, the other one being Terps Esports out of Maryland, then SNHU, who obviously made that impactful loss, the only one that has been aware for the Blue Hens. So a very tight race there in that tied 4-4, or I guess 4-5, if you will, position here in this Northeast A conference. So, I mean, like I like to say, I mean, you just have to beat the player across the line from you. You got to beat who's in front of you. That is really total control of your own fate, not of your own destiny, to simply make it to this fall playoff. And I feel like when we've re-racked and stacked all of our kind of, I would call it legacy conferences, as you will. We had Legends, we had Champions, Challengers, Emergence, and Navigators. Now this 1 through 8, simply get up there, win, be a part of your division. These teams have really been able to kind of showcase and strut their stuff this season.
I gotta agree with you. What I'm taking from what you're saying here, Monkey Man, is that it is just a much easier story here for the Warriors and the rest in today, the rest of their season, whereas there's a lot of pressure right now on these Blue Hens to go forth and perform because nothing is guaranteed next weekend. Now, you can't say anything is guaranteed for the Warriors next weekend, but again, we have our numbers with which to predict the future. Want to go ahead, give a big fat shout out to some of the coaching staff, some of the sports staff that make competitions like these teams are participating in possible for them, right? Yeah, every team makes mistakes, capitalizing on those and correct them after the matches are what these coaches and managers do. That is Alphaz, I believe, Alphaz here for the Warriors Gold, as well as Diesel Fury and K Insword for the University of Delaware. If K Insword does mean Kieran Insword, Kieran, what's up, man? I have not seen you in... For COVID. That's how long it's been. That's how long it's been.
Goodness.
Kieran was present there at the very first lane I ever did Monkey Man way back in like 2017.
That is amazing. That's honestly, I love knowing.
Fantastically old.
Look, we all die, and it's fine. But you know what? The one thing I like to know is that there's still that support. The fact that they've been able to rest that long, and not just rest, but also keep active for some of these programs, that shows to me that there's not just kind of this flash in the pan, hey, let's touch esports and let's just see what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Nah. Dig their heels in, get the work done. And I've seen Delaware doing it. I've seen Waterloo doing it. I'm glad to be able to see these programs really kind of bringing it to the forefront. So by the numbers, I need to know. I mean, we have basically, we got the lineups that's coming. We've got our numbers that are coming in as well. But knowing what we got, how do you feel about a team that goes deep into these series, 14-10, 4 best of 5s, 3 of them won by the Warriors? Delaware feels like they either win via a 3-0 sweep or they lose it very, very tight. Who's your hot bet?
I gotta go with tight games. We want more Rocket League games here on the day, and I was laughing a little bit because, hey, it's Halloween. Everybody is playing dress up. We have Bob, who is Stewart, of course, or Stellar, of course, excuse me. Stewart, who is Scooter, and Odds, who is Kevin. Guys, y'all can go back and kind of get that grid, get that like little key or whatever to figure it out. We're calling them Bob, Stewart, and Kevin. How about that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna have my little map legend off to the corner too readily. Right. So I already have my actual ears covered up by some uwu doggy ears. So I'm not gonna be having the best to look through all of the actual stats. But we go to game number 1, an early score here for the Fighting Blue Hens, and Warriors Gold seeing themselves having to counterplay. Already making that save is Kevin.
Yeah, so a lot of pressure here and early from the University of Delaware, and that's just a really easy way to have brought this one out. Kind of like free space given, and Delaware is doing a fantastic job of keeping this ball centered and keeping on the offensive pressure. Back out to the middle. That's another hit out there, a redirect that Bob was not looking for. We'll be looking if Stewart can get it to a teammate. They do, and the Blue Hens looking to continue flying. Nice physical play.
Yeah, I like that. Even when they're kind of running out of boost, they're looking to go immediately man-on-man. And look at the double! You can't let them have that free space. That's Stellar Bob doing stellar things.
Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Goblin mode, just trying to get there, but it's not a great angle, and that's going to yield nothing but a redirect off top bar and inside. 2 scores, 61 seconds. The blue hens are flocking together early.
I don't know. Do hens fly?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I do know they
all
flock
right.
together, though. I said it
Okay, so-
earlier, and I wasn't really sure about it once I said it out loud. But in general,
Okay.
I found that if you say something confidently enough on microphone, people will agree with you.
That's generally how most politics goes. I agree. So as we
Oh,
get
jeez.
into the first minute and 20, 80 seconds in, we've got 2 goals already, and really Delaware hasn't relinquished too much pressure, but they do have a little valve opening up here for Warriors, but it feels like it's only briefly been led as they've been able to move upfield, but not really without a multitude of offensive options.
There really haven't been, and at the end of the day, the Waterloo squad is just been. I mean, literally, that play right there, just tiny little physical plays to keep possession or to take away possession. Excuse me, to get a steal right there, essentially. Whereas other Warriors players just aren't really backing up their main dribbler at the time. That really is what it's coming down to be, and they're gonna hit it over here. Bob picks it up, gets it to a teammate, and there's no real possession for the Warriors in the offensive third whatsoever.
Yeah, it feels like there's just been a little lack. That one was a stretch play. Want to see if that one does come back to maybe develop into something more. North has to retreat almost immediately, and it did take an extra physical play to clear away a would-be attacker in the form of the Delaware Hens. And now North calling for the cherry pick, does get a connection. It will fall still to the wayside, but look how they're leaping. Even though they don't exactly have the best follow-up, they're at least doing so. That's a freebie. It's actually a let. Kevin told them, look, I'm coming back with pace. Let me get that touch.
I actually like this because that's the equivalent of a fake, right? Getting an offender, to bite in a ball that they would never have an opportunity at angle-wise, like early. Yeah, get them out of position, get them closer to our goal where the ball is nowhere to be found. Great redirect.
Oh yeah, fantastic finds and that's been the difference so far. Apprehension kind of spelled out the pace differential in favor of Delaware early, and as Warriors have now stepped up, you're seeing them take advantage of them, and they catch them in no man's land. Bob will acquire another one, but look what the third man was.
Goblin Mo just trying to get up there again. I mean, to answer your question, I'm not 100% sure where North was. I believe they're off on the right side of camera, picking up boosts and whatnot, and this is a classic mistake. If that's the case, and these are not the kind of mistakes as the Warriors can survive and continue to make, or continue to make and survive, I should say, one and then the next.
And the good news for them is that this team, I feel like I understand why they've gone deep into their series. It's because maybe the first game is just not theirs. They definitely learn and adapt over the course of a series. Now, I need to see some level of that. I have not seen on their records them get swept out yet, and the Fighting Blue Hens, that's one of the things they love to do in sequential success. Now, that's a great takeaway. Finally formulates into a pass, and 75 seconds remaining right now in Delaware. 3-goal lead. It feels like this one's in control. A shot will go top bar.
Okay.
We got ourselves a ball game with time.
There we do. Just shy of 70 seconds left here in a 2-score difference. Warriors gold showing a little. I think literally this is just a little bit of a wake-up call here for the Warriors. They are now got it together. That was about as clean as it gets between like pass and the point, right? It's quite essential as it gets.
So now if you're Warriors, you gotta find that not just singular, but you gotta do secondary, tertiary, you gotta find all the extra multiples. A nice little pick up and go, excess, at least a chunk. Oh, that's a freebie! That is a mistake! Stewart just gives up the goose, and they take it and they cook it.
Okay, so the Hens, maybe they just like playing it from that, we have a number, a whole integer, and you have a 0. This has been a little bit of a breakdown the past 20 seconds or so. The first real pass play that the Warriors put up finds pay dirt, 12 seconds later, 15 seconds later? Find another one off of just a really, really bad defensive play on the other side, and just like that, we have a 1-score game. This should be a more methodical block than it is.
Yeah, it feels like Delaware just needs to tighten up. Warriors, though, they're going to start getting them a lot faster. This one could have been simply put in the books. A putback shot off angle, and nice. Bob had to pick that up. Otherwise, that was free. And I feel like the Hens are going to try and get quicker, but look how the Warriors are standing and delivering from midfield.
Last second offense right here. That should have been just a little bit lower in a tying factor here for the Warriors. No give up, no quit. in this Warriors Gold squad.
Nice little chip. 7 get over 1. Excess will be met by Stewart. You know what? They may have given up that second goal, but they have a chance to make up for it. Trying to pressure into Bob. A nice takeaway. It would be a dunk down. Kevin gives him a chance. So does Excess. They're going to try and guide this one to the grass. Whoa. Kevin has to make sure it doesn't go into Warriors' hands. And nice extra takeaway. The spin by North onto the wall. Who's available? Excess from the side wall. And they have one extra. Goblin mode. It's still in the air. One more by Excess. And we just keep tumbling around until we eventually go back from where we started. And Warriors, we'll see that one slip on by.
Hey, first almost 4 minutes, I was feeling a little silly for the prediction right here. Warriors Gold just not showing me very much, Monkey Man. That is not how we finished this 5-minute Rocket League game. Taking a look at the numbers here, 2 for 5, 2 goals, 5 shots. This is just, I mean, obviously numerically, but Delaware had the vast majority of shots attempted, 9 shots attempted right there. That tells me that possession mostly going the way of Delaware, the time of possession, but that's not really a fact at all because you all just watched that game same as me. First 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes or so, University of Delaware absolutely rolling through, especially those 2 goals back-to-back. Warriors were just looking lost. Last 90 seconds or so of this game is a completely different story, and that's exactly what I want to see for a longer series here, Monkey Man.
Yeah, it felt like the Blue Hens had won the first 3 minutes, but winning the first 3 doesn't always mean that you've gotten the entire game, especially as you get to see a late-term resurgence. Now, maybe they were starting to lack a little bit. Maybe they're starting to slow down and kind of just not really keeping the rotation. Obviously, you saw Stewart kind of dime up or dish up something just super free that was taken advantage of. If you are the Hens, you don't want to leave anything for free. They win with sweeps or they take very close games. Warriors, everything's close. So they were given their own wake-up call. Game number 1 is now in the books. I expect them to bring the same level of pace and pressure at the end of that game into game number 2.
Got to. This is a 5-game series. There's no real wiggle room. Try saying that 5 times fast. And here within the best of 5 series. At best of 7s, you can make the argument for game 1, and even like kind of game 2, given that 2 out of 7 just really ain't that much.
Yeah, it's really not. You don't have that level of leniency, but one thing that I'm loving that I'm getting so far out of Warriors is how they've been able to key up some of their players. But one thing that I was going to kind of dote on them about is the fact that they've been going out and finding the ball. And instead, they allow all this to cycle in their corner. And, I mean, North is caught going backwards.
I really cannot sign off on that block. Obviously, getting in and foisting it like in front of you, just simple little half flip to the right? But hey, there is also a reason why I'm up here in the booth, I suppose. These sorts of, hindsight's 2020 is never more true than the great game of Rocket League. Stewart gets the second one. Is there physical play on the goal line right here to keep blocker away? Nope. That was just 2 hardcore misses.
Yeah, Bob was on that near side wall, and it looked like he had keyed up to maybe get goblin mode or find someone flying in, but Excess, it was the knuckleball. They're just really a complete switch up of pace. They'd had no idea how to go for it, and now suddenly, if you're the Warriors, it feels very reminiscent of game number 1 where you allowed Blue Hens to really dominate upfield. They got to take advantage of this pop play. They can be able to stretch it wide, find themselves some extra grass.
What I'm looking at is... or what I'm looking for, is a Warrior Gold squad that just plays like they did the last 90 seconds or so. Instead, they're playing like they did the first 3 minutes. The 3 minutes, they got absolutely demolished. As it is, we're seeing similar results so far, but even in less time, which is regression. That's not what we're looking for. To the corner we go. University of Delaware fighting against their first real offense in a while. Ball foisted to the middle, but we do have Excess picking this one up. Demos and more. We've seen a couple of demos from the Warriors squad. I'm just not sure if it's time to pull those out yet.
I don't mind them being used in transition. A great find as that drop-down pass to the top of the box was a nice, a third threat, rather. 2 demos for Bob. Bob gets it's a 2-banger right in the middle of the pitch. Trying to take advantage of it, though, and look where Stewart ends up defensively. Can they get another one?
Ooh,
Goblin
nice.
Mode comes in. Cuts lead in half. This is progress.
Yeah, and this comes off the back of a demo, right? Right before this, North gets 1, right? North actually gets the player. It actually missed ball, so ultimately not one that really contributed to that goal. Regardless, pressure is pressure, and the Warrior Girls bring this back to a 1-score difference.
The hens finally get sent packing. I don't know if hens stay. Well, if they are regular hens, they must have a chicken relative coop. So, see if they
hen
can
house, perhaps.
Fox in the hen house. True. You know what? I forgot all my children's stories. Ran out of the coloring books, but
I just like the alliterative factors. Hen house. I don't know. Big alliteration guy. Not a big sharings team apparently. University of Delaware, two teammates fighting over possession right there at what was probably the best earned angle that they'd gotten so far. And what I mean by earned is that they got in a good position and weren't just giving it up. From the Warriors Gold Squad. This is two teams right now. They're just playing like I'm not 100% sure what to expect from either of them right now.
And I think it's the pedigree of if I don't know what I'm doing, they won't know what I'm doing. And then the casters of production have no idea, and everyone's just kind of left shrugging. But as much as we try to see if the trick or treats are coming out, some of the demos continue to shine. You had said a little bit ago that Norse had really kind of started off that extra offense, and it was with a demo, and this one resets the cycle of a defender, and we've got a tied game for the first time since 0.
Now this is a demo? No, that's just, again, Stewart. Kevin kind of chases this one in. I don't even think they were using boost to kind of get to this one, but tie a game 30 seconds outside of almost 30 seconds past halftime, I should say, and the best look the Warriors have seen so far.
Warriors trying to be able to get their lead. Again, this is a team that loves to go deep in a series, adapt when they can, a 1v2. Bob trying to win a couple of touches. It ends up going favorably here for the Waterloo Warriors. And University of Delaware, it feels like they've kind of been playing around. I won't say that into full negativity, because there have been times where it's been paying off, but less than 100 seconds right now here, Tugboat, and this is a squad in Warriors. If they get that one extra strike, nice takeaway, they could really be looking at a chance, and they will be to take this lead.
All right, so just a whole lot going on by the goal line right here. XS, I think it's just like a tiny little tap on that one, but again, it just boils down to a blue hen player getting a really sub touch onto it. This is flirting with just trying to touch ball territory, just trying to chase ball territory.
Ooh, fake out. Bob, who has been responsible for the majority of the goals for the Fighting Blue Hens. Another one, trying to go for a bump. Bob kind of doing literally everything separated from the two other components of his squad, and they're just reset downfield based on demos and based on rotation. It feels like everyone's kind of playing different games around each other, and again, Bob is just a step faster, keeping them at least competitive as they set up to the box. As a big demo, they clear the striker, and Bob just waiting it out.
Cue the Jaws music, Bob. Patience is a virtue. They kind of show it off right there. Well, patience is also not a luxury the University of Delaware Blue Hens can't afford. They're about 45 seconds away from a tying factor being struck for the Warriors Gold Squad, Monkey Man.
When it's getting paused, they're going to try and set up Kevin, going for the double. XS must make contact, and they have to continue to do so. Stewart setting up either a lateral edge for Kevin or Bob, who tries to just fill it in immediately. Another demo. Goblin mode, smoke screen. XS is the one tracking backwards, and there's no boost until Bob steals that corner. Look at the demos. That recovery keeps the strikers from having a chance.
Fantastic job there from the Warriors Gold. I was not lauding the physical demo play, bumps, demos, everything else earlier. They have turned that into fantastic strategy with which they have contrived a one-score lead. That was almost inside for one. Well, we had like it seemed like a 30-second volleyball situation last time. Let's see how long this ball lives this time.
Kevin trying for the flick. Oh, he fully dodges, but no dice. And Warriors Gold out of Waterloo. They will tie up this series and presents a situation here, Tugboat, because the only time that we've seen Delaware lose a game, they lost the series, otherwise they sweep. Warriors Gold, I mean, they're used to going deep either way, so we could be breaking new ground for both squads.
It's a fantastic point. Here's another one, little stat action coming at you. Kevin, who did everything in a bag of chips, that's odds, for anybody who knows the Warrior squad, did a whole lot offensively in the previous one. Not one shot attempted here in game number 2. A tying factor leads us to essentially a best-of-3 series. You can reminisce about a fantastic win in game 1. You can reminisce about a comeback game in game 2. Well, no advantage either squad, and of course, a 3-2 victory both ways, right? Just for different teams.
Yeah, so and I think the biggest thing that we got to see in adaptation from Warriors is that the first 3 minutes and change, I'd have to say, of game one was dominated by the Hens. Only about the first minute and a half, maybe two, of game two, Hens were in control. Then we saw the comeback. A 2-0 became 3 the other direction in favor of the Warriors. So as these games have gone on, Warriors have been able to respond faster, less shell shock, and more get up, get the job done. And they've been really upending and snuffing out the offensive from Bob. Bob cannot be the lone goal scorer here. You got to see if the Hens are able to strike back.
So you could say that they asked themselves the question, what about Bob?
Yes.
No? Yeah? Okay,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
It's an old one. It's an old movie. It's an old reference.
It checks out, though.
It's a real thing, I promise.
Well, first minute, Hens are already upfield. The key thing, though, is the Warriors have decided to go man-on-man, to go for these immediate challenges, and then they get a demo. Can you turn it in? Goblin Mode just skirting disaster.
Fantastic run. Like you said, skirting disaster, making everybody on this blue squad kind of clinch up a little bit. All gravy, just kind of walking the dog all the way across. Oh, if North Snow had, I'm going to say 12 boosts, right? Say a single small pill, then there would have been enough to be able to flip into that and get a fantastic angle for the first score.
Yeah, they didn't expect to be in a prime position to receive a cherry pick, and they had no boost, but they've been doing great work with their overall physical game. So they've been prioritizing really working from the perimeter and then getting player on player. Pre-jump here out of Kevin. Fantastic pass and go. That one's a giveaway. You got to get it. Excess ahead of Bob, and now they even have the third man getting involved. And look how they've already made an extra rotation. It feels like there's a fourth man working here for the Hens.
It really, really is. My goodness. Warriors Gold finally gets to work this one out. Nice little pirouette move. Absolutely love that, but the Delaware Hens showing us, I mean, the same squad we've seen before, which is a squad that generally does not find much difficulty taking the ball away.
Possession of the rock, good control overall, and they are not getting flustered with having to get out of their own back half. I love the passing play. It's going to be a bit wide, as they had him screaming in from the outside of the box and they were crossing inward, so that direct angle otherwise kind of ruining it out. Oh, this is going to be dangerous. Off that near side post, and no boost. Goblin Mode apparently is the most comfortable on their goal line with nothing in the tank.
Past 2 minutes now. There has been a first score at, 49 seconds, and then like 36, 37 if my memory serves, which is a horrible phrase for anybody above the age of 30. Oh well. We're looking at the Warriors right here, working it through the corner, and just a little bit farther forward, Snow is going to be kicking themselves under their desk for that one. Just cheating up a tiny, tiny bit, and you could even see the other teammate was farther back. There was no need for them to be that far back.
They just wanted to kind of stick around, super safe. This is a tough situation. Everyone could just crash in. Oh my goodness! And they use Bob to get the save, but Bob has a second chance. They were able to get some extra boost, hand it off to Kevin, going backboard. Stewart's on the outside of it. Excess taps it back to their own side wall, and the Warriors survive that full rotation of Hens.
2 minutes to go right here after pretty close. About as close as it gets. Minute 55 left right here. Still looking for the first scores. We're going to try and get you guys a little bit of a look at, well, just how one of these two teams has dressed up here for celebration of the holiday. 99 seconds left. XS gets a fantastic job taking this one away. Bouncing play, and Kevin never had a worry.
If I could do a certain voice right now, I would try North Snow. Let's make this read. It's as free as it can be. Just waiting on a single mistake to develop. Not the ones made by the Warriors. Hens gave up the goose again.
Man, oh man, that was Stewart just trying to get vertical with this one, influence the the angle on that just a little bit. Not gonna happen. Warriors taking the lead for the first time across this series so far. Again, memories. Yeah, no, definitely, because it was Delaware won in game one. They went all the way up three and almost came back, and then the Warriors got scored on first. It was 1-0 and then scored 3 of them. Nicely done. Warriors getting it done twice.
They've been able to score at minimum 2 goals per game. This one, it would be wild if there was a shutout, considering how the Hens have had the multitudes of attack opportunities and just haven't been able to turn it in completely. I may be, a bit of a doubting Thomas, I guess, when it comes to just wearing goggles, but maybe that is going to enhance their vision. 65 seconds to go as they finally get one on the board.
This is just off of a kickoff mistake as well. You saw that player, believe that was North, coming in for the Warriors squad. A little bit of a follow-up there, but whether it was comms, whether it was just a bad kickoff from the initial left side player, I don't know. Regardless, there will not be any shutout here in game number 3. 1 score difference, so much more easily manageable. Tries for... Oh, fantastic attempt. Fantastic attempt.
Love the doink. North has been getting very creative about how they enable success for this squad, and they have to continue to do so because the Hens are not going anywhere without a fight. The only time they ever lost was in game number 5. North shadowing that they don't have any boost, trying for a ripper from the crossbar. It will go underneath and out. Bob has a half a tank and yet gets challenged. There's a disrespect there by the Warriors now, but it's because they know they got to put the Hens in their place before they can get started. That one to the backboard. Goblin chilling. It's all the way up top from Excess, and that's 15 seconds. You don't need excessive offense. You got to key this one up.
Bob kind of waiting to make a play on this with just a little bit of boost. Now a couple of teammates are there for it. This is going to be a goal line stop there for the Warriors. 3, 2, a wide open, just a little bit, a little bit lower, and that had been inside. The theme of 1-score games continue here as the Warriors take a nail biter down in game number 3.
11 shots to 6, and we want to give you guys a special look as to what kind of game plan and vibes are happening right now for the Hens of University of Delaware. The names make sense now why they are not their own names. They are full-on minions, and they're trying to be able to see what they can do to exact some dastardly deeds, but they're down in this series.
They are indeed. They are indeed. They may have the creativity buff on their side, but the Delaware Hens, I mean, hey, they've literally already taken a game off. This has all been 1-score games. And plus, you asked me already. There's one thing I've learned is that Magnum PI is never incorrect, especially not on Halloween. We're going to game 5 here after the Delaware Hens take down game 4 and bring this one back for, best of 5 series, boiled to a best of 3, boiled all the way down. Bare bones, Monkey Man. We're going to a game 5.
I would love to see that. And if you guys do want to give some support over to the program for the Fighting Blue Hens as well, you can go to Blue Hen Esports to check them out live because they've got those live cams, and you would love to see some excitement as well. But we are going to go into a game number 4. Now, new territory, could be tread, depends either way. We go to Neo Tokyo, which is our gatekeeper map before Champions Field for game 5. Warriors want to seal it up and win this one to try and have the best chance possible of having the number 1 seed. Delaware has to fight back.
Yeah, just as a recap, guys, here, the Warriors next week facing against the Eagles. The Eagles with just quantifiably one of the worst numerical win-loss records within the NECC. Logic follows. It maybe that'd be an easier matchup. Different story completely for the University of Delaware, as they're going to be taking it to the Turpins out of Maryland there that have an identical record as of right now, 4-1. Again, on paper, that tells you might be a little bit of a tougher W.
And it would be a wild thing too if Delaware, if the Hens end up dropping 2 series in 2 weeks, because then they could end up in they could end up in third place in this conference. So very tight conference race overall. I feel like they are guaranteed at minimum to make it into the postseason. That's a great pickup by Stewart. And Goblin mode, very sure of themselves defensively, and North has been the same way as well.
See if those trends continue. If you're the Delaware Blue Hens, victory comes with making trends stop, because, gotta say, 2 games in a row might be 1 score. Could have been by 10. End result is the same, Monkey Man.
Just be able to get that 1. And it's really been much tighter contest ever since we've seen the stoppage of scoring in that first minute and a half of play. Oh, nice knockdown, and immediately he gets it over to a teammate. Goblin mode is deleted, so you won't have your immediate third man until he respawns, and yet look at the clearance. No exacting of advantage here by the Hens. Bob has to take this one, and he goes for the 50 to try and set up a teammate.
Success, learning what little boost they have, but yeah, might have gotten it past one. Can't say the same without some higher flying acrobatics to get it past two. The Warriors Gold Squad now spinning a little bit of a streak in their own third. Easy plays from the corner, tries to get it past North. That's an easier thing said than done. Stewart beats feet to try and play that last man back. Positioning, excess. Teammate takes out a demo while they're just playing the offensive game. Nobody there, and Goblin mode gonna go ham for the first goal.
Bob just respawned, and it was a tough position because Stewart, they'd already made a tough connection because you have to go vertical and then find it while inverted and backwards, and they had to do it again, but it was much faster with pace. The Warriors have been able to score. They have limited the Hens consistently now through the last couple, trying to immediately have another dagger. North has to escape. Will they go up to this wall? No, they're gonna get some clear boost. Bob is gonna go full touch. They get it across, but Goblin mode is the one to receive it because that counterplay was too fast for Bob's teammates to catch up.
Too fast, kind of mad, or even furious. 2:12 left on the clock right here as XS just tries to get this up, but that's just a little bit too high. Goblin mode would have loved to have tee off on that, or maybe even had that big boost, but his teammate had different ideas.
Try to keep him in it. But you know what? As soon as he got that big boost, he did go right back into a center sweep. So I don't mind that you pick it up. You just have to kind of replace that rotation.
Yes.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Gotta get it. Oh, a shot. Just short. Bob with no boost. And again, it just feels like this is the Hens on a last gasp, especially with Stewart having to find it at the very last second. Bob caught in the corner, and the Hens are as well.
Oh, another just little tippy tap right there from XS. Third goal gonna be making in for their third shot attempted, excuse me. XS gonna be making it in. Contract Goblin mode for the assist. 95 seconds left right here. The University of Delaware varsity, that's the Blue Hens, folks, are a minute and a half away from proving a tugboat wrong. You hate to see it.
Oh man, it's tough. Gonna see if Warriors can continue to just run this game out. But you have seen the Hens at least push a game 5. Will they not even get there, as game 4 is where the Warriors simply want to stay and want to end. XS will have this one go over their head. Kevin to Bob on the pre-flip. Oh, to the backboard. Stewart climbs the ladder, wants to drag it down a rung or two. Bob over the top of him, and yet North fills the gap.
Nicely done. Savior medal lighting up the top right there for that player. Warriors Gold having some really well-rounded players. Shot and 3 saves here for North Snow, playing their role perfectly. 55 seconds left or so. Shot down bottom. And if you hear knocking, that is not some spooky Halloween stuff, Monkey Man. That are the nails in the coffin for the University of Delaware Blue Hens.
Hammering away, ready to drag the casket. Igor, yes, master! Oh, whoa. Hold on. Whoa, there's no time on the board. Whoa!
It can't feel like it right now, I'll say that much. The University of Delaware have scored 1 goal over the past 9 and some change minutes, okay? 1 goal. They're kept away from a sweep position, but they even gave up 2 scores last time. 3 scores already, and this game ain't over.
Not quite over, but it's starting to get a lot more difficult. Bob recognizing just at the last second that North was the lone man on the totem pole and they're on the goal line, and it feels like all they have to do is play immediate challenge, especially as they put it seemingly mathematically out of reach. 4 up are the Warriors. What a shutout they're posting right now, and it could be for the end of game 4.
Yeah, so if you're in a coffin, you're nailed in, and now you hear dirt being shoveled on top, also not some spooky stuff, you need to alert the authorities. This is 4-0, 16 seconds to go. The Warriors have done it. There is not enough chronological resource, which is a fancy way of saying time, left for the University of Delaware Blue Hens to come back at this one. 3 games dropped in a row right here after... I mean, there was 3 scores for University of Delaware to start this one off, Monkey Man. We predicted a longer series, no 3-0 sweep, and it looked like it's exactly where we were going with about 90 seconds left in game 1. Big shout out to the Warriors Gold Squad. The Waterloo Warriors continuing 4 games, 3-1 victory, improving their overall record to 5-1.
You know what? Give some love over to the Blue Hens. They brought out a bit of the spirit of the season, all into some minion work, but it feels like the minions are going to have to go find a banana at the other end of the week as they have to fight against the Turpins in week number 7, the last week of the regular season. That's going to be a tough one for them because at best now, at least depending on how everything goes, they can get into a 2nd seed position. And Warriors Gold out of Waterloo, we've been saying it the entire time, they're going to be facing off against Eagles White next week. And at 2-15, doesn't bode well for the Eagles to find a late-term rally unless they simply play the most miraculous spoiler in this conference. So feels like they're now just on their own path for the Warriors to get themselves into 1st seed, especially because even if the Terps beat the Hens next week, they hold the head-to-head over the Terps as well.
Yeah, so they're just so interesting, right? Like, it is 4:40 over here on the Pacific Coast. 39 minutes ago, right, we were staring at a University of Delaware Blue Hen squad 4-1. In a week from now, they could be ending the regular season at 4-3, and then things get dicey when you're talking about top 4 teams and whatnot. Because even if they make it in, then obviously seeding and whatnot, right? The path ahead of them was the path ahead of both of these teams was identical and clear. So big shout out to the Warriors Gold Squad. No, they wasn't perfect by any means. And up until the last, it was 1-score differences. So the Delaware squad cannot be feeling too bad about the series.
Yeah, no, honestly, there's still a lot of value to them. Hens 14 now, I guess they'll be 15-6 as they will drop to 4-2, and then increasing and currently dominating the conference as the Warriors as they go to 5-1 at that 17-11 mark. Still having the most games played in the entirety of this Northeast A conference, but that's what we got for release right now. It was a nice Division 3 matchup, and it gave us some time to be able to see even more of not just gameplay, but some awesome programs. But we're going to be going to a break on the other side of that. Some more spooky season stuff as we got UNCW Esports Varsity going against MTSU Wings. As another big conference matchup. You don't want to miss it, as NECC Rocket League will be back in just a little bit.
What exactly is a meat substitute or plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. The kind you find at Wenzel's Farm, and the only kind they use. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked right here in the heartland of America. Wenzel's Farm offers 14 flavors of mouth-watering protein-packed power in a stick, except no substitute. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is... Oh!
Frozen over like I am. I've lost composure, but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know you know that life gets colder, colder when you're frozen over like I am.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. But you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself.
I've been in the good times already. You can see it on my face. I know. No more racing. We got it. We could reach it. Yeah, we got it. And you know I'm feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you. But what you gonna do? And you know I'm feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I gonna do? What you gonna do? Breaking up all this static running through my blood. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Out of luck, can I keep my head above this time? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me. Blown around in a storm that only brings me down. Again, why does it feel so hard to breathe? Why does it feel so hard to breathe? So hard to breathe. Never found, but these voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me. Feeling the ground collapse on me.
Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Now that you're gone, I can't seem to. 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't
Nothing cuts quite like a memory, especially one that you're trying to forget. But I can't find the energy to rewind and reset. I know you don't wanna be used, but you use me to build up. You build up to break me down. How does it feel? How does it feel to knock me around? Oh, I'll make a sound. Oh, I'll make a sound until I hit the ground. Oh, I'll make a sound. So don't shoot me down. Alright, we're not broken. We're just getting off the ground. Afraid of the Sometimes I lack the bravery, 'cause I know I fear the end. One day we'll see a victory. Carry on until the sun will set to break me down. How does it feel? How does it feel to knock me around? Oh, I'll make a sound. Oh, I'll make a sound.
You have habits just like me. Talk too much with strangers. Get way too serious around family.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting into our second match of the day. I guess two paws up as we get into our second match of the day here for some spooky season Halloween special at NECC. Again, I'm Hail Monkey Man with a tugboat. No, it's Magnum PI. He's got the cool glasses. He's
better get it
here
right.
to be able to show off what's going on over there. So we got a second match. We're gonna go from Div 3 to Div 4. We're trying to showcase near the end of the regular season, especially for this fall semester, even more depth of talent. And it's another banger as both these teams are fighting for the top of the conference.
Oh yes. NECC has no shortage of Rocket League teams. Wise colleges have decided to get involved within Scholastic Esports, and we're looking down to Division 4. Generally, Monkey Man, we have covered the best of 7 Division 1, Division 2 games. If you're tuning in again from previous seasons, we're going to be seeing Division 3, Division 4 games, and best of 5 series. University of North Carolina at Wilmington. That's the Seahawks sitting at 4-1. That is 13-4 on the game score, right? Game ratio, wins to losses, based on round wins, right? And then the Middle Tennessee State University Wings coming on in here with a little bit of a similar ratio here, Monkey Man.
Yeah, they're hitting 5-0 is the key difference in terms of series play.
Yep.
Nothing dropping out yet. So a perfect season, at least at this point, at 15-3 at a plus 12 position in terms of total games played. So with Flash, Round Creature, and Puggets on the opposite end, the Seahawks at a UNCW varsity with Sluggish, Driptane, and Reticle. So going into this series, both these teams have a good position in their records to fight for a number 1. It's going to be kind of a similar feature every single time we bring it up. I have actually been to Wilmington, by the way. Nice little humid beach town, really fun to go over to. Got to see a land over there. So I want to see if UNCW can be able to bring that heat, maybe to finally give the first loss over to MTSU.
I have been to Wilmington before, although being born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina is probably less of a feat there, Monkey Man. Have not worked there outside, have not worked in esports there, let's say that. Looking at this roster, especially given that the MTSU squad also has a lot of depth here, right? Looking at Round Creature, the coach as well as player, we might see Nata or Logan. We are going to see Logan, Flash, Round Creature, possibly Round Creature as a player as well. So again, we're talking a little bit about depth here. But MTSU, simple fact is they have not tasted defeat when it comes to matches, of course, have taken 3 map losses here yet. But the narrative really that I want to drill home here is what exactly the Seahawks need to do, right? They take down a 3-0 loss. 2 things will happen here. 3 things, excuse me. They will improve to 5-1. MTSU secondarily will drop to 5-1, having the same match record. And then it's the Seahawks will add 3 on top to go 16-4. MTSU will drop 15-6, thereby beating on the map record. Correct, Monkey Man?
I believe that's how that would all flip around. That is good math right there. And even though if it ends up into a kind of a 3-1 stature, same outcome in terms of series, it could be a tied record, but the head-to-head still goes over to UNCW. We get to see if any of the math checks out or if that even gets to happen. Whoa. But it's going to be sluggish. Not sluggish at all. Seahawks strike 2 seconds in.
There you go. Hey, the watch party buff perhaps, Monkey Man? Big shout out to all the folks over there, UNCW, tagging us, taking a picture as well, or responding to your post, I believe I should say, with a picture of their own watch party. That's the kind of support that some of these scholastic organizations can use to go forth and employ, kind of similar to how traditional sports operated for a long time, with an advantage. How about sluggish? 2 for 2 in 9 seconds. Single-digit seconds, 2 scores right here.
I'm loving the way that they took that watch party and they said, you know what? There is some kind of buff about starting fast in the early minutes. 9 seconds, 2 goals, 4.5 seconds per goal at this point in time. MTSU, a lot of bluster from UNCW, but there's substance to back it up. They've got to calm this down. They can do it with a strike of their own.
See how this goes. That's an opportunity. Far post, and Logan is going to bring this back to a 1-score difference. Total of 3 scores, first 22 seconds. Did not think I was going to be able to say that one this early here. I gotta say, but hey, this UNCW and MTSU match shaping up to be a high-scoring affair thus far, Monkey Man.
Which I don't dislike. Very American of them to really kind of keep it high level and, of course, high scoring. A nice pickup there by Reticle, and for the first time in this entire first half minute and more, we don't have a score within the 7-second range. Not without trying, though, as the Seahawks continue to pepper the backboard. But MTSU Wings, as Middle Tennessee picks up on their back end. But look at the consistency of finding these mid-level passing plays, and the same now as MTSU finally gets an answer and some stops.
Solid job middling this one up, and no follow-up, though, unfortunately, from the Wings. Speaking of, trying to get aerial with that one, and nobody connects. A little tipper there from Reticle. Can't quite draw the bead onto that one.
A chance to try and get a third on the board very, very early. High level or high amounts of scoring, a large amount of volume, but has not turned much in, except for an attempt to be able to double it up. A flip reset that served up to the front face of the crossbar. And I love the second efforts that we're getting from both sides of the pitch here, Tugboat. It feels like every single player, when they get the initial touch to a possession, they're trying to be able to follow up immediately, even with Nuggets here, trying to or Puggets rather, trying to go up for their own punch to the backboard. And now look at the physical play attempt. It will be returned in kind by Flash.
A nice job there. It's easy to see that they have recognized that Sluggish is a huge offensive juggernaut. Once again, 2 scores, 9 seconds. First of this one. Some more real aggressive play. Driptane was kind of... See, that's those plays right there. I can't quite... I can't really come down on it because they're playing the field and they're still trying to get like a defensive effort up. That is anything but a defensive effort, though. What I was ready to laud turns into a full-on mistake. Perhaps Driptane was kind of thinking the same thing. It's like, hey, I really, really want to go for this. But, you saw right there, thanks to our new boost meters next to players right here, Driptane had enough to come back and make a play onto this ball. Instead, tries to take it to the midfield and get aggressive with it. They're going to pay the price for it. And UNCW's lead, a 2-0 lead, turns into nothing in a more reasonable time of this 5-minute Rocket League map.
And it's because he immediately recognized that Reticle, even when they were tracking that at the midfield crosshair, wasn't able to find any kind of connection. And look at the threats that is already being presented by the Seahawks as, again, looking for a negative angle redirect from Logan, a second follow on a nice little possession touch. As we are finally midway through game number 1, but the 1-2 combination gets snuffed out by Flash. The passes, the shots keep brewing and keep just burning hot here for UNCW.
Everyone is doing. See how this goes, because what looked like this was starting out to be a sweep, kind of like our previous match between Warriors Gold and the University of Delaware. Perhaps a theme may be established here on the broadcast. We'll continue to see. I think we can confirm that if MTSU comes back and wins this one 3-2 in the same fashion the University of Delaware did in our first match of the broadcast.
Try to go on a slow backflip to just try and get a touch. This is going to be just kind of a respect shot. MTSU keeping them level, and Flash luckily was in a good third-man position. So everything is slowed down. And I only mean that in terms of the scoring pattern. Otherwise, it has been the Seahawks that have tried to go man-to-man to at least kind of find some of these better challenges directly onto some of these players. Wings otherwise has been put themselves into kind of a corner, and it does look like everything's just paused at this point in time. No, hey, we're back. Okay, cool. Yeah, it doesn't look like we missed anything.
And not anything at all. Maybe a couple of demos. Of course, these demos have to turn a little bit more to turn into points. What a shot right there. My goodness, walking the dog the entire way. And then I believe puts this onto the nose of the defender. Wow. So puts it down there at a perfect angle.
Yeah, right over the top of 2. You catch Wings stretched a bit too far upfield, so you just have to put a shot well over and behind them towards that goal line. Even though Middle Tennessee has been able to catch up and tie, they've been unable to find themselves a leading goal, and they're still going to have to go searching as the Seahawks out of UNCW are really just able to find better answers. A fantastic demo. Third man will be in position as Reticle will get a save onto the drop into the stripes. But if you are Middle Tennessee, you cannot allow just UNCW to reign supreme in midfield. You got to get to these takeaways, but you also have to keep kosher to not just overtly keep leaping downfield.
And that's a fantastic way to have put this. That's a fantastic redirect. And there's the follow-up from Logan. I felt like that was developing into a perfect example of what you were talking about as Reticle puts this against the ceiling and makes it so much harder for the Wings to come back. Does not look like we're seeing a recurring theme from our first game, but perhaps I should knock on wood after saying that one.
Yeah, I don't have much wood except for all the hardwood around me, and I don't know if hitting my heel on it will count as a knock or just me having a bad time walking around later. So 30 seconds to go, 2 goals up. MTSU may be seeing themselves have to fight for another day. Sluggish started this game off with 2 in the first 9 seconds. Maybe something to just kind of get away from them. Either way, 15 seconds remaining, and UNCW, they just got to keep this one tight. Driptane, I say.
Obviously would have felt worse. Doesn't fully matter as of right now. I mean, just not a whole lot of time to have, got the required goals necessary to get that one done. Here's going to go for a last one, and Reticle stretches the field, keeps this ball aloft, and turns into a 5-2. Could have been a 3-4 right there, but I feel like it's reasonable to expect an entire UNCW esports varsity squad to have gone into defense mode at that point and not given up a pretty much definition of last second goal. 5-2 could have very easily been 4-2 as we take a look at some of our numbers and how exactly they played into the result.
It was about the same. Wow. Okay, 7 saves there for UNCW, 6 on the side of Middle Tennessee. Come up 1 shot short of matching the Seahawks, but look at what it is downfield. You have a couple of the 5 goals just able to get saved, but otherwise, those shots that we got to see, obviously the last one, chalk that up to a bit of trash time, if you will, but they were in positions where MTSU was just not ready to receive it. You had a double commit that was brought in for one of them. It was a nice shot just well beyond 2 defenders, and then the other one that was a bit mathematical. So the biggest thing that I like for both these teams, game 1s can be so variable. Neither team slowed down, and they didn't do it without it being I guess to their I guess a deficit to them. They just continue to say, you know what, let's open this up, let's get up to pace.
Yeah, and keeping pace here is what this MTSU squad is going to have to do in the second. Obviously, they have not suffered the horrible taste of defeat when it comes to matches thus far. They have dropped maps, so that's not super familiar. But if you're looking at a situation where the Seahawks take down a second right here, and you have to go 3 in a row to come back, that will be a different song sung if we get there. If we get there, Monkey Man. Hold your horses. Calm down, man. You're making the people uncomfortable.
Well, okay. I will make sure that we will go full pause.
Pause off.
Hey, look, there was 2 separate puns there. We were both in the same mind. But
fantastic stuff.
we go to game number 2, and we did see game number 1 of our previous series went to the eventual loser of the series. So 3 in a row could be the thing. Name of the game here for the Wings. Middle Tennessee got a buck up put up here on Farmstead as we rock into game 2.
At this point, we had 2 scores on the board already, so I'm going to say that's market improvement here for the Wings.
Right, for another one, and the biggest thing that really UNCW has not been punished for, except for maybe once, is overt challenges. Oh, trying to immediately do it again. It was Sluggish that started us off. They had actually an extra opportunity, and Driptane wanted to aim for that 50-50, and they are trying to take away, at least in the boost game, to see if Middle Tennessee just gets a bit too lackadaisical. But look how they're giving them so much space to work with, and that's really going to be to their detriment.
You just cannot continuously give up space like this, and MTSU has been on the defensive side for quite a while. Yep, that was a hair's breadth away from our first goal. Here about a minute in. Pop play way up to the top. No one really responds to it. Okay, Logan does get there just in the nick of time, but it really was the very last second.
It's going to continue to be a theme if MTSU is responding with reaction and not pro-action. Again, Reticle is going to have a free touch. It will be out and wide. Look how they already key up Driptane to go to that corner, and they were trying to get a demo onto them. Sluggish is going to be isolated, and that allows Flash to clear them from the field. And let's hope there's enough boost right now for Wings. They get the flip reset. May not need it. Oh, a nice little chunker, but Reticle does not bat an eye as they get that save. They do get demoed, though. Wings finding physical plays.
7 definitely being a higher scoring affair in the first. I believe that was Sluggish, maybe Reticle. They got the very last second ineffectual goal. Well, can't talk about ineffectual goals now. MTSU has taken the lead for the first time of this matchup. Love it. Love it.
That was tough for Reticle because they had actually just rotated into the middle of the box, and then they kind of waited for the drop-off from the sidewall from that ball. They did not read that a player was already crashing through and setting up for that strike. So for the first time in now 2 games, as we are nearly 2 full minutes into game number 2, MTSU will have themselves a leading goal. Can they hang on? Can they build brick by brick Oh, and so far they've been able to keep the Seahawks at bay.
So far, that is definitely the case. MTSU just needs to keep this ball into their offensive third a little while longer to let these plays develop and then really see what strikes when you shake this tree.
Oh.
Centered up, there's physical play, and unfortunately, Logan just can't quite get there.
Didn't exactly have a second man that was waiting for them to be successful on a fake either. So that one was kind of just all bluster and no substance. At least to be able to keep UNCW back, which is fine because whenever they've ramped up this speed, it has been tough for this squad to answer. But MTSU see themselves kind of under fire, and it's been really impressive passing for the most part here out of the Seahawks. But this is just going to be a drop into the back line as they see two defenders having to rotate all the way back.
I think this is this is obviously they got scored against as a mild mistake here. UNCW. Just both without boost. Especially given how close they got. If they kind of cut in, abandon that boost chase maybe a little bit earlier, then again, hindsight 2020, of course. Flash trying to make something beautiful happen right there, and Sluggish just hits this one for the fences all the way back down. Driptane with a great redirect. This is going to purchase the UNCW squad a little bit of time to get into position. Now they do, and this should be the beginning of something beautiful.
This is going to be the tiniest bit pretty. But again, what's been happening with UNCW? They have not had the same level of possessions before. That's a nice slot. What a save! What? Savior medal for Logan at the last second. They got the shovel, dug that one out.
Wait, so Logan got demoed and then came back immediately and just cut those wheels immediately, came back and hit that 180 degrees perfectly on the other side. If that demo had come a quarter second later, I'm going to say they wouldn't have been in position for that one.
Oh, it would have been tough. And 80 seconds to go. That was one of the best looks that we've got out of the Seahawks. And MTSU, it's been a much tighter contest, obviously. So far, pitching a shutout. Maybe even a third goal if Flash is able to find anything against Sluggish. And not the same kind of squad right now for the Seahawks. I feel like they've been going for some of these challenges. And though they've been able to have them in earnest, they have a chance right here. End up a bit too far up. No boost for Reticle. They just haven't found the box as free. And there was a couple freebies acquired in game number 1. And I guess with MTSU tightening up their rotation, ain't nothing free in this second game.
And it really is not. It really does seem like the mistakes that were not horrendous by any means that MTSU was making. Again, this win from a 3-2 game that turned into a 3-2 game they had to score now and then got scored on. And then again, that fifth goal came at the very last second. They did not ultimately affect one way or the other. So you look at 5-2 and you think that's just a shutdown. I look at a 3-2 game that just got slowly out of hand for the MTSU Wings. This is a different story, though. This is them coming together, fixing everything, and pitching a shutout against a squad that scored twice in 9 seconds in the very first one. Have to literally score like with this hit right here. They do not. MTSU is going to take this one down and shut out the Seahawks in game number 2.
Not without trying, though, and I feel like we're going to see a Seahawk group that's going to bounce back, but one that already had to do that was Middle Tennessee State. So they come in big, and they really just kind of keep everything level. They have all of one shot above what the UNC Wilmington was bringing to the table. So a couple of saves to it. 4 saves for Logan. We got to see that from that demo respawn on the opposite corner, really just kind of serving it up on either end of the pitch, and they were 100% participatory between them and Flash, which really just gives signs for success here for MTSU.
Yeah, and the difference in saves there, that's really the big one. It's not, in that situation, there's way more of a defensive game, and especially given they were splayed out, pretty evenly there. It wasn't just one person with, 5 or 4, another person with 1 or 0. Looking at tied series here now, 5-0 MTSU Wings. That's exactly what they're looking like right now if they're are forced a shutout. And this wasn't just a one-score game either. Maybe got a little bit close there towards the end. Seahawks might have put ball to net. This is not ultimately what happens. This, I said it before and I'll say it again, best of 5 series now boiled down to a best of 3. Will we get down to a best of 5? I'd love to see that. We went 4 games initially, no sweeps on the day. That's what I'm asking for here. It's my spooky prediction here, Monkey Man.
Ooh, the scariest of predictions to actually have us do more work instead of less. But game 4 at minimum guaranteed because we got to see this one. I could see game 5. It just depends on the bounce back because UNCW felt like lost all the wind out of their sails or under the wings, I guess, of the Seahawks. And for the wings of MTSU, they did have to survive a couple of late-term resurgences. Big save here by Reticle. They must slow things down, but Flash is already flashing another attack.
Yeah, it was a great save, but it wasn't until the second hit that this really got cleared and got out of the source of danger. Driptane almost putting in the first here and early. That was something we saw, well, a lot of in game number 1, not so much of in game number 2. A higher scoring affair the first, not so much game number 2.
Will Logan be the same kind of monster that he was in game 2, considering he had, what, 4 saves? He had that 1 assist, one shot, but it's Puggets that has been hoping to get into the net. They get this one inside the first minute, and it was Flash that just kind of sent it to the ceiling, said, Pug, just come answer.
Yeah, and so since Defender bit onto Puggett's shot there against the corner, there was nobody really into position to make any sort of play on this. So 2 passes. Last one into a point into a wide open net, perfectly slotted as well. Obviously, other corner, different story. Defender would have had a block 50 seconds into this game number 3.
Everyone full tanks for UNC Wilmington. They've been unable to get effectively out of their own half, except for now a demo. Sluggish picks off Puggets. Driptane is being led, at least by Reticle, who wants to try and get themselves a sweeping demo. No boost to them as they went to that corner, hoping to steal something away from Middle Tennessee State. Now Logan's going to have to leave it up to Puggets, and that's an open grasp situation, and yet so confidently was Puggets going in for that challenge. We're still just at 1, but there's starting to be a collection of demos found on either side.
Yeah, can't be surprised when these two teams get aggressive towards the middle meat of this matchup. They both know they're going to get at least one more game after this one, and they both know that this game is not anywhere near done. Only 1 score difference, not even 2 minutes in, plenty to be done. Like I always say, whatever the scoreline is at halftime can be undone second half of that respective game.
Bit of extra math. Oh, but the math is math, and this is going to drop on. What a save as it doesn't go all the way through. You even get the holy cows in the chat. A counterplay snuffed out and stopped as Reticle wanted to catch everyone looking and being a bit sad and sagging. So a very close call for UNCW, and yet it's still another call to answer as MTSU comes knocking again. Oh, goodness.
Whoa. Okay, so a 2 goal line stands here for the side of UNCW as Logan just going headhunting 2 in a row right there, almost lining them back up off of respawn. There might be something on the other side. Sluggish showed what they can do on the offense earlier, showing what they can do on the defense now.
If MTSU does not find another goal and you see UNCW finally get something on the board, they're going to be thinking about those last couple of attacks. The fact that they did not have that ball go all the way through, and that could actually start to kind of ring a bit sour. Puggets looking for a passing play, ends up having that one cleared very far and wide, and we're now on the other end, the other side of that half. Reticle, backboard, anyone there to answer? No, it will be found, dropped down, and Logan continues to be consistent where the wings need him.
Yeah, it's just all about that positioning. Solid rotations here, and Sluggish ties this one up. What was I just saying, man? Being in position, being ready for your teammates to help you thrive.
That one's tough because Flash, I mean, they're obviously kind of a middle goal line man, so they have to answer to a couple of different things, either a shot or to an immediate player. And Puggets was hoping that that ball will be brought to the wall. They couldn't do anything, so that was kind of a 1v2 with Puggets just kind of hanging out like an ornament. So now we go into a 1-1. What you said can be done. They can do better, perhaps, or at least match it up. Less than 100 seconds to go. Someone's got to get to match point.
Yeah, 90 seconds to go right here. It really does seem like that first game, that higher scoring, 7 total score game 1, was just more of a flash in the pan, something we should not, and cannot come to expect from these two teams that have proven themselves to be very, very evenly matched. 75 seconds to go. That's a shot, realizing Reticle gets up, gets the nose onto there, and gets a save credit for it. This ball kind of left in the middle, and the wings are going to try and make something happen. Get ball getting away now.
Great recognition on both ends. They've been tightening up this defense overall. That's a giveaway to the near side post. Double commit. Sluggish has to just kind of trampoline this, and it becomes a counterplay position for UNCW. But again, Flash has been hyperactive. Logan has been involved. Both of them combining.
Whoa.
Another big save. Reticle has their own savior medal. Flash with another drop, and it's again cleared out. Middle Tennessee cannot get themselves over the goal line. One extra attack. Puckets in a very boostless Driptane, hoping that a teammate can make the catch as we have a half minute to go.
Middle Tennessee has been throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this UNCW squad, and they have been holding strong. Best brick wall impersonation I've ever seen. That's a great costume. It's a great costume, Seahawks. Brick wall impersonation, none shall pass. Logan taking a demo here as the game plan changes up a little bit. MTSU trying to get aggressive with it. UNCW down low, 4 seconds away from overtime. If MTSU gets this across, they're going to have a serious shot. Puckets puts us across, Driptane to the ground, and we got overtime.
Middle Tennessee State, they have had the majority of floor control, but it's not been without at least an opportunity that obviously UNCW has been able to bank on. Can they doink it? And they do! Reticle right in the box, seals the deal in 7 seconds.
Wow, Logan just gets absolutely swarmed right there. Reticle with a little bit of assistance, but that's a good job because Puckets was going to go for that ball in the back. That's where they were lining this up at. Like you saw them turn in towards Puckets like a little bit closer. Doesn't matter, right? Or you
Not
saw
at
him
all.
turned in towards Reticle, excuse me, right?
Yeah.
Like a little bit there towards the end, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, they were on that target, but I mean, tail of the tape, just pure stat line, 5 to 9, in terms of the pressure that Middle Tennessee State was putting against UNCW, and I had said it before in that first half. They had 3 or 4 opportunities that ended up just going to the goal line, and the old Ironsides, they did not pay them off. The fourth man for the net was working in favor of the Seahawks out of UNC Wilmington. And that's got to be something that if you are MTSU, you have to get that out of your mental, that you're like, okay, we came up short, sold a little bit, couple chances. We simply need to have someone a little bit hotter on the trot to get there and secure the bag. We basically 95% of the paper was written, and you forgot to put your name on it just to get that lead extended.
A shorter overtime. Honestly, I anticipate kind of a longer one. We talked about how infrequently goals were coming in to have an overall effect within this game. Cross map 2, cross map 3. Now we have a lead, an actual lead, a 2-1 lead here, and match point goes the way, is coming up right here, excuse me, wings being put onto match point, as I should say. We have to reiterate at this point, the narrative, got to go back to it, 5-0, MTSU. Will this be the Seahawks going forth, taking it down in 4 and giving this Middle Tennessee squad their first loss of the season and tying their overall map win-to-loss ratio? Now, if MTSU takes this, or loses this 3-2, they'll have the same overall record, but a better map ratio.
Just all of one. Get to have that plus. It matters enough. Just to have it there as some level of tiebreaker when it comes to seeding before the postseason is starting to rear its beautiful head. Triple commit. Everyone just jumping up here for Middle Tennessee State. And I feel like if you are MTSU, you have to erase that previous game. Obviously, the 2-1, it stands in front of you. Use that as a motivator, but I could easily see now this game, if they do not keep up this level of pressure that they are right now against UNCW, the Seahawks could be able to put it away.
See how this goes. First 50 seconds or so, no scores on, but Puckets gets mega aggressive. Got to get this real high. Now in Flash, doing a lot from the top. Doesn't get a quite second shot. And there's the teammate, and there's the support that we were looking at.
Yeah, just a step too late. Flash was looking fantastic. They brought it to the backboard, but, I mean, the fill of the gap by Logan or whomever was supposed to be in rotation there was just way too late for as long and telegraphed as that play was being made. Flash has been very proactive, very just physical, regardless of what they're doing, on player or on ball. Driptane is going to try and kind of replicate much of the same. Puckets has not been the same kind of consistent player that I feel like that this squad wants them to be. They had times and moments, but UNCW, it feels like they've been able to really gear up their moment a little bit more consistently.
Yeah, and that's really, like, consistency is such key at these higher levels of Rocket League as well. We'll see how this continues to ploy and play along in the rest of this matchup. Great stop right there as Puckets takes to the skies, but UNC player was really the target. They're not so much the ball, and now it's going to be UNC trying to take their ball out. Did they just set this up perfectly for Flash? Cutting through the air. Oh, almost. Great job from the Seahawks recognizing this danger as it formed in the clouds.
And just danger as well for some of the boost situation out of UNCW. As Seahawks, they had to go up into midfield to put anything in the can. Puggett's over the top of one. Driptane has to make this challenge, and in fact, Puggett's uses it as they recognize the defender is rising up to get that tap. They put their car lower, let it rest, and aim for the 50-50 dunk.
Wow, and Puggett's it's just about that last tap, really. Possibly. No, excuse me. First goal, not possibly the first goal. For the first goal, definitely coming 12 seconds outside of halftime here for the Middle Tennessee State University Wings. Will they be able to hold on to it? Did we just watch the only goal that's going to be featured in this Game 4 thus far? Or is this just the beginning of an onslaught? We'll find out this and more.
News at 11 or 8:47 Eastern, whichever one you may see first. Big demo, literally 6 demos all light up onto that stat line as Reticle was hoping for a pass. That was another one we have. I can't wait to see how many demos are on either side. So many have been collected by both these teams up in midfield. Reticle has to stop that because it was on target, and guess what? Another one. It's a Michael Bay movie. Neo Tokyo is apparently their new direction spot.
Love it, love it. It's a destination, or not like vacation destination. What am I thinking of? It doesn't matter. It's a shooting destination. I don't know. Minute 50 as of right now. Picturesque. That's what I'm trying to say here. Looks like the demos may have abated for right now. That's one of those things that you really have to go forth and not only respect, but give back to the other team once it starts, right? You can't let them get away with demoing a whole bunch of your teammates consistently.
It's just like the forecheck and defending your goalie when it comes to some hockey. Gotta make sure you keep putting mitts on the face. Oh, that's another man dropping. Driptane, no boost. Must make this touch. Even so, Logan will make sure to keep them honest. 75 seconds. Flash to anyone. And Flash has been kind of projecting and pushing these solo maneuvers to open up some space for MTSU. But now because they still have that single goal, that's the only one you need, they have been able to just deny, delay, and dismay everything out of the UNCW. 1 minute to go, 60 seconds on the clock. They got to score.
The Seahawks have been shut out of a game already once. How happens now after it just seemed like they kind of figured things out. On board with Reticle right now, plenty of boost to get that second tap. Looking for a third coming in, doesn't find it. Is sluggish, picks it up from opponent. There's the steal. Oh, nicely done from the MTSU defense. Better angle, that would have been maybe ringing goal post. Not going to happen as early. 30 seconds to go here for UNCW to tie it up and push this to another overtime.
Feels like the fantastical Cirque du Soleil act that was this team was not hitting. And then suddenly, no one is present on the backboard. Look at this position. Logan decides to go to floor. He wanted the ball, but that leaves it open top level to the net. And that's just a free shot anywhere. And they go for the most premium opportunity to tie it up here very late in game 4.
Just got to say, literally, as soon as this player for the MTSU drops off that wall, all opportunity was just immediately dropped away from them to try and make a defensive play onto this ball. Even if you have boost, just jumping up and getting that angle is just so difficult. Looking for a second one maybe to go here is Reticle. Not going to happen. 5 seconds away from overtime. Driptane taken to the skies. Not going to happen. Logan sends this flying to the other corner. That's grounded out. And we have overtime in game 4.
Middle Tennessee State trying to stay perfect on the season, maybe assure themselves no matter what a top seed. Driptane and the gang out of the Seahawks, they have a relatively similar game record, but they have that one series loss, trying to steal away that #1 seed and maybe secure it going into next week. See if they can continue this on Neo Tokyo. It's a free rush down!
Wow.
And no more perfection for MTSU. UNCW will take this series.
Nicely done. They're going to take down this as well as a even record now, 5-1 for both of these squads. Let me do some quick math here. So that's 16-5 versus 16-5. Yeah, no, 16-6 because MTSU will have taken 3 losses. So not only a lead after the match series record, right? But within the maps as well. Well done, UNCW. Watch party pays off.
Hey, you know what? Watch party buff. A lot of celebration. Also, very short overtimes. Even when it went to bonus time, it was a total between the two of 25 seconds. 7 in one, 18 in the other, and just kind of keeping it short. And it felt like there were so many chances that were just left on the pitch for this MTSU Wings squad to really kind of get themselves in better control. But it was kind of out of sync. Flash came alive. Logan obviously had times that they filled the gap. And I felt like Puggets had moments where they kind of rose and then fell. So everyone out of sorts on this very spooky night.
I think the big difference this entire matchup, I mean, like the scoreline says it, right? 2-1 game 3, 2-1 game 4, both of them overtime. What this tells me is the Seahawks just were better off of kickoff. They're better at that initial. After the reset, they came forth and were able to play very early positions to go forth and turn that into points.
Yeah, you know what? Easy said and done. Good stats on the board, and there's going to be some big matchups going for all top 3 in that particular conference are all 5-1. So it's again up for grabs. But same to be said for our final match of the evening. Last one here for NECC after this short break. It's going to be the Wayne State College Wildcats varsity group versus the OKC University Stars. You don't want to miss it. A couple of undefeated teams here in just a moment.
You work hard and play hard. You need real fuel to power your day. Not some tofu stuffed rice cake or plant-based meat substitute. No, you need honest-to-goodness, homegrown, protein-packed power in a stick. You need Wenzel's Farm. Quality cuts of meat handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked for a great-tasting snack that delivers real energy. Power up and put the smack down on whatever your day brings with Wenzel's Farm. Real meat for real life.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
Hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Breaking up all this static running through my blood. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Out of luck, can I keep my head above this time? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me. Blown around in a storm that only brings me down. Again, why does it feel so hard to breathe? Why does it feel so hard to breathe? So hard to breathe. Never found, but these voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me?
I seek to fight is a world that's mine. Need a place to hide. Will you free my mind? Follow the light of a world that's blind. In your eyes I see there's a place for me. I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb at first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb at first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. You were the calm to my storm. You could take the wind, and though the winds were hard, weighing on our shoulders, at least the ice could never break us in. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve.
Hello there, as we get into our final match of the evening here with NECC. I'm still Hell Monkey Man, and it's been a spooky time here with a good old tugboat as we get into all of the matches tonight. You know, I need to know what we've had 2 good bangers. They've gotten to game number 4. I feel like, as we go back into division number 3 here in the West B conference, that this one could be the best one of the night.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're looking at undefeated Wayne State College, the varsity squad made up of Fluke, Rage, and Rascal, taking on the undefeated Oklahoma City University. That is Miracle, that is Tater, and that is Nickel. My goodness. Tail of the tape is it's undefeated Giants coming into the next to last match of their regular season. 15-4, Wayne State College 15-3. Slightly better by a single map here, Monkey Man, the Oklahoma City squad.
Yeah, I've gotten to see them over the course of I think the last year and a half or so. And OKC has a really stellar program that's been very consistent, but so has Wayne State College. There is barely any separation, literally all game of difference. The Stars hold it just that narrow margin of difference. But here's the best thing about doing a full round robin over a 7-week span of an entire conference. Someone's got to lose. You got to stay perfect. You got to run the gambit, get through everyone. Both these teams, for the most part, I believe, are assured a playoff position, but it's about seeding, it's about pride, and it's about being able to provide that push. I feel like this one could have a game 5, and if it's not, it's going to be a tight one regardless.
Yeah, I mean, we've had 2 games 4 already. The last 2 games of the second match there between the Seahawks and the Wings most recently went to overtime as well. Yeah, they were short overtimes, they were, but at the end of the day, competitiveness and close matches have been the recurring theme of this broadcast, and that's the narrative on the day.
So Div 3 will be seeing 2 of their undefeateds, and 1 must fall. We go to game number 1. Wayne State College will be in blue, and the Stars of OKC University are going to be in orange as we break our way onto Mansfield Night.
Tater with a massive pinch right there. Putting a little bit less juice on that might have been the move to try and get that to a teammate. As it is, Oklahoma City continuing on an offensive onslaught. Hit down bottom, a little bouncer, and Tater is going to score a tasty one first.
That's a nice dish already by OCU. Nickel with a fantastic separation as Rascal was up there just a little bit late. And look at the read, providing just the tiniest bit of tap-down delay. As the defender went over the top, they brought it underneath them. A fantastic attack in this first half minute.
Yeah, we'll see if this one continues here for the Oklahoma City squad. Again, neither of these teams have tasted defeat in a match thus far and have barely tasted map defeat. Only 4 of them dropped Wayne State College. Only 3 of them dropped the side of OKC. 40 seconds or so to go here. Chow won by an OKC player, but Nickel not really in position to play it. Initially takes it off the first hit there, gets a solid second, puts it up for the teammate. That's a pass that's just a little bit too fast.
Yeah, a little bit too much pepper to handle. So as Tater tries to just slow everything down, I love that the Stars are taking some pace. They get the takeaways as well directly on these players, and for the most part, they haven't stolen out the corners, which has allowed Wayne State College to just keep themselves at least supplied. But look at the quick supply of a passing play there. Rascal has no boost. He can't actually confidently challenge until now as he goes deep into his own corner.
Well, a great job there from Fluke. Follow up from Rage, but not enough boost to get to the second tap there with momentum just charging forward. Fluke watches a teammate fall down bottom, looks for a little bit of recompense. Oh, if that was just a little bit shorter. Just a little bit shorter.
They still have a fantastic lateral challenge, and Wayne State College is trying to take advantage of as much time as they can bleed away from OCU at this point, because when Oklahoma City gets upfield, it feels like they're always directly under fire, and a threat is brewing again. Already, another one. Third man will come up. Fluke gives it all of a single pause, and so as they just kind of chill out, wait for the fake out. I mean, OCU, it feels like they want to leap at kind of everything, and Wayne State College just collapsed on top of each other on that last possession.
Yeah, not 100% sure what the idea was there. Now stretching the field, and that's, I mean, that gets it out here, but it wasn't until Rascal gets a second effort at it that this was even cleared for a couple of seconds. Now, great job there from Rage, sending this back down to the other side. No real clear there, trying to get to it, and does. Sends this to the middle part of the field where Rascal will intercept and try to get this going. Barely up to it is Rage. The block comes in, and the score difference remains 1.
It's all of that initial strike. It was, what, 20 or so seconds into this game. Oh, a takeaway! And that's just going to go through. Imagine 2 defenders. It was soft wifties. They basically had it off of their fender. Rage kind of baiting them in off of just a swoop and whoop.
Wow. Yep, and then Rage just tapping that a little bit later towards the end. Make sure not to make any contact as this OKC player had pre-jumped at it, which makes sense. I mean, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to anticipate the hit. From the top, second hit, and another miracle stop. That's Mira with a Savior medal.
Here comes up to match the same of at least one defender here for Wayne State College. The Wildcats, they clapped back at least a little bit. And it's really been at the behest of some mistakes that OCU has been putting up Oklahoma City. See if they can pin back the Wildcats a little bit more. Tater gets tossed around. They steal some boost. Mirrors a full tank ahead. They've been really impressive with how they've conditioned, at least the way they've taken resources upfield, but that's a nice takeaway. Fluke could have one more chance, and you see Rage at the top of the box, but it's a really powerful impact that at least sends it out to the middle third.
Mira's hand is forced. Nicely done. Just dishes it right underneath. I'm saying this because Mira would have liked to normally have accepted this down bottom, but there's somebody just lurking right there. As soon as Rage pulls back, it's like, oh, you're giving me this entire area, this entire like block of air right there to go forth and spin my will. How about I spin that one to a point?
That was wonderful. Inverted redirect as soon as they walk away, sprint away from the defender that they were playing patty cake with on the goal line. So 70 seconds now here in game number 1, our final best of 5 of the night. And we know that these 2 undefeated squads have had a fantastic and efficient season, barely dropping any games. Rage, let's see if they can get one extra double commit right at the middle of the pitch. That'll be another one to add to the column. And with less than a minute to go here, Tugboat, OCU is now extending this lead out.
And there's the on-theme Halloween, what is that? That's the Saw doll. The Saw doll. Excuse me. There you go. Coming out. How on point. How thematical. 57 seconds to go here. And that's 2 scores that Wayne State College has to come up on top of.
Good old Jigsaw trying to help them solve the puzzle, but it's really just to see them get their hand blown off when they go up for the ball. An extra one as Rage catches it to the face. It almost felt like that ball was going to demo them. 45 seconds to go. Tater slowing things down, and so are the rest of the stars here for OCU. And it feels like this has now become a bit confusing. They're playing slow when they don't have the leniency for that premium, and now it's just a slow ball at the near side post when no one was present.
Yeah, and that's just a factor of having, I mean, just 10 less boost than you really need to go forth and make that happen. Rascal, though, no boost really necessary for this play.
Rascal sets it up. Everyone was looking at them, but the shooter was truly Rage as they combine between them. And you know what? Good combination. You put enough of a pinch on there, and no one's going to be able to stop it. So a ball game we have. Maybe it's just going to be 22 seconds more. OCU, can they keep the Wildcats from spawning even more as they just want to steal out their corner boost and pin them on in their defensive half?
Maybe easier said than done. Only a 2-score difference here for KC. 5 seconds to go. Just tries to ground this here and get it past Rage. I mean, Rule Zero's rule 0. There's a nice job by Fluke keeping ball aloft and Dreams alive, even paying for it with the life, but 3-2 it goes the way of OKC.
They have a coordinated dance. Are you kidding me? That's wonderful. 9 shots to 10. Both these teams bringing it out here in game number 1. It did feel like Oklahoma City University was a kind of a step ahead in terms of bringing it earlier. Look at the total save count and shot count. It does. You have Wayne State College having to start more often than not from their own back half. Fluke with 4 of the 6 saves. A savior over to Mira on the other side, but full goal participation out of OCU really tells me that this team is finding ways to get that ball in the right hands.
Yeah, exactly. Just spreading this around and allowing the closest player to the ball, whether that be defensive efforts or offensive efforts, go forth and make a play. A little bit of a different story, I gotta say. I mean, you said it right. Fluke with 4 of these 6 saves. You see what I see that. Monkey Man, I see a player that whether that's relegated as a team or relegating themselves to only one kind of these duties. And once you identify that as a higher level Rocket League team, it's much, much, much easier to play against them because it's basically like, well, if this is the defensive guy, I'm going to go put the ball against the wall and then I'm going to use the rest of my boost to go down and demo them. And then generally, net is going to be open. That is, of course, like the most easy boiling down of it. Now you just same idea and apply it to every level of offense and defense.
Got to see if they can break away from that mold, because that's not going to be, 1, a fun mold to have to replicate all the time, especially if you're Fluke. 2, see if you can just kind of make this puzzle a little bit more complex. Nice takeaway already by Tater. Stars already in a familiar position as they are forcing shots on a save that had to ring off of the interior of the crossbar, and the Stars are already making this difficult for the Wildcats on their own defensive box.
And that's what this game is in a very big way about, just simply making things difficult for your opponents. Fluke is going to be really, really happy, and you saw Rascal wasn't even moving back until you saw the result of the play. Tater, a low roller right here, and Wayne State kind of bites the bullet for not coming back to this at all. Look, I mean, you see one player is completely behind Tater, okay? So the other 2 players are in this corner right now, and when you have 2 players in the same exact, you're only going to be tripping over each other to try and get the net and try and make a play.
Rage went, and I think it was a pre-flip position to try and go and get the corner boost, as well as getting a demo into that corner, and Rascal just comes out. Heck of a swing, a heater that's caught by Tater, who so far is the star of game number 2, at least for the side of OCU. Fluke want to rise to the occasion. Another chance. Oh, but another block there by Nickel. And if I had a dime for every time Nickel was upfield and finding good plays, well, I'd at least have the one. May be able to have it a second time. And Rage, I got to see them kind of be able to find even bigger value whenever they make these more physical plays against these Stars players.
That's what it's really about, is making the plays that you can find value from, because just hitting ball, I mean, that is never going to really be a great Rocket League team if everyone just has the same goal, and that is, hit ball towards net, however you get it over there, period, right? You'll never integrate back passes. You'll never really integrate passes in general if you're always just trying to make them play themselves. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly what this team is doing by any means, but that is the base logic of it.
They've not been also to kind of divide and conquer OCU. OCU, nice sweeping bump, but Nickel is immediately there already. So just keeping calm, even under some of these elongated rotations out of Wayne State College. A nice shot, again, being blocked. And it doesn't feel like anything is too complex. They've simplified the game. Stars trying to do a little bit more razzle-dazzle, if you will, whenever they're on these defensive halves for Wayne State. But again, it's all of a single goal. It feels very kind of matched up, married up to what we saw in that first game. And Nickel to that side wall, they get thrown asunder as Fluke will aim for a clear.
I feel like 5 is approaching a higher level or higher amount of goals total within a game. We're literally through half of this game right now, and there's just a single score difference. Anybody on Wayne State should feel great, and that... Oh my God, I thought that was it. Fluke definitely felt like that as well. Coming in with full boost, Rascal from top rope. Nobody there, and that one's just a little bit farther off. 100 boost as well, but Rascal can't get it up to the rebound right there. Unfortunately, the offense for Wayne State College continues on right here, but with much worse positioning than they had before.
Oklahoma City University had every single player in that box. And though usually that's kind of a bad deal, oh my goodness, it ended up paying dividends because it gave them this chance to just exist down here. Mira with what in the world? A steal, a take, and an immediate flip and push up into that top crossbar. No one is ready for that individual play.
Literally just playing wall ball with themselves against that corner right there. Puts it across one, second defender bites down bottom, and then the third one just kind of has a front row seat to that one. Off kickoff, though. Okay, Rascal's saying that, why couldn't this have happened 15 seconds ago?
Well, you finally see that they're not facing off against numbers, not multiples, just one. And again, kickoff rotation is the wiliest and the most X variable, so if you are OCU, just calm it down, keep it cool, take a second extra. Tater not going for the full dive as you see them receive, so they do cut this lead in half, give themselves a chance, but okay. Mira is inevitable.
It really is. I mean, you say that, but the thing is, like, there's just no other Wayne State College players there, right? You have one player go up to corner and try and challenge players, like, currently possessing ball. You have to have another one down bottom, at least rotating there, right? I can understand the idea to pour it all into offense, but with a minute, at the time, with 2 minutes left, that's just not really a time to have done that so early, and now a 2-score difference is what you find yourself having to pull yourself out of. Ooh, that was close to an own goal.
Yeah, but Mira and all the big brain calculations, 900 IQ told them to take the shot and miss, flip reset here for Fluke. And then already trying to get it out. Everyone getting involved from both sides as they're just passing it around the top of the box. So Wayne State College, a familiar scene for them, having to score twice. They were able to do it with just about 20 or so seconds remaining in the first game. And it feels like that's going to have to be the feature again. Rascal waited for that touch out of Nickel, and they're getting read out because they're just slow to progress themselves upfield. It's a 1v1 for Rascal, but they catch it wide.
Yeah, it's always hard to try and take those balls that are coming directly off of the ceiling without actually, like, looking up there, changing thing, look back down, everything else like that. Not knowing what you're running into, that's just one of those things, again, that comes off the back. 1,000+ hours, go Rocket League. Shot to the middle, fight over it, scrum. Nickel trying to get to the corner and then around a defender, but that is way easier said than done when Rage is right there. 1, 2 players, first bite, second does not. A great hit, an even better shot to the corner, a backflip. Fluke trying to get that one slow and backwards. Still alive here is Wayne State.
They're no boost warriors as they got that opportunity. Tater will find this just off of a double jump hop, and I think one extra clear, and this should be able to ice it out. 2 goals up are the Stars, and for the first time tonight, we will see ourselves into a 2-0 series, which means it's gotta be a reverse sweep. Tough scenes for the Wildcats of Wayne State College, but it's going to be a tough mountain to climb if they want to stay perfect for the Stars. They've gone streaking through the sky. And, oh, you messed up the dance there, Mira. Come on. What are you doing? Come on.
There you go. There you go. Nose down, twisting, pirouetting. Love it. Love it, love it. 3 scores here for Oklahoma City. I think it says everything that we need to know that Nickel had the most points, thereby on top of all 6 players, with 0 scores, single assists, when you had Mira with 2, doing everything. 4 shots attempted, an assist, 5 saves. Nickel looking more like gold.
And Mira just kind of filling in where they need to. Obviously, both them and Tater, everyone on this Oklahoma City University roster is just really shining. Wayne State, it feels like the majority of the time that they're starting on this pitch, it is from their own back half. They are not able to contest for, I guess, the multitude of this game from mid-pitch and really kind of win that midfield side of things. And even when they do, we see them come up short. A lot of it is just, all right, small ball challenging, too many players in the box, and you just cannot get it into the back of the net. I feel that on so many different sports. But if that's the case, I mean, we got to start employing the thing that you say maybe don't do early. Got to get physical.
Yeah, no, third game down 0-2. Get as physical as you need to be here if you're Wayne State. Nothing else has really worked up to this point, and 10 full minutes is plenty of time within Rocket League to go forth and employ all kinds of strategies that you might have up your sleeves here, Monkey Man. I'm not saying it's full-on panic time like right now, but in this match, if they don't take an early lead, oh boy.
It's not panic yet time. Rage was able to dodge the initial demo, but you can never count out a third man coming in for OCU, as Tater will fill that gap. Also, shout out to Fluke and Rascal. They immediately tried to employ a very quick kickoff rotation, ended up hugging it out on the goal line of OCU, and everything was just watched from a bird's eye view from the other end of the pitch.
Mira, nice stop. There's the drop. Tries to get it to a teammate, and a wise decision from Rage and the rest of Wayne State coming in there and really just realizing what was going on at the time. Breaking this one up, keeping the ball into the offensive third. That is what Rocket League is about.
First minute so far held very well by the Stars. No boost to adjust, and another one as Mira will add to the stack of success. And I mean, every one of these players individually here, Tugboat, feel like they're just getting outread and outpaced.
That really is what it's got to feel like, as this is continuously just slower and slower drawn away from them, right, Monkey Man? 42 seconds in. This is similar to other situations that we've had where they're like just really, really early scores. The good news for Wayne State College is that just like in those earlier games, those leads can be bled away, and they still have plenty of time. Being down 2-0 at 4 minutes and 5 seconds is completely different from being down 2-0 with 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Very true. One of the toughest things in the league to hold is a lead, and especially with a bazillion seconds left on the clock. That is a real number, just like the decillion that Google got fined a little bit earlier this week. So, 2-0. That was some current news and events for you guys right there. Hope you enjoyed that. 80 seconds, and OCU just kind of keeping it calm. And I mean, even when this is just kind of plinkoed around in the corner, it doesn't feel like they're too chuffed about it.
20 decimillion, right?
So 21 decillion.
21 decillion.
Decillion. That is 32 zeros.
You're in trouble, Google. You're in trouble. 3 minutes, 21 seconds. Right? Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
Oh no, that was our producer trying to sneak us in some extra information.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Oh, but you know what? OCU feels like they've really kind of just forced Wayne State College to have to answer to literally every single touch that they find, because either they're dragging it up to the sky, getting a great passing play going, or they're just dropping into the box in a very lethal parameter. And we have, obviously, right now, we are seeing the pressure build up for Wayne State College. This will be a strike on target, but the demo they did find isn't one that they can build from. Rage got rid of Mira. That's a very powerful player to get rid of, but then they slow down on the forthcoming attack.
And the more cornered play. This is not keep away territory by any means for OKC, but at the end of the day, especially if they get like one, they trade goals, right? They get a third, Wayne State gets one. In about a minute and a half, that's exactly where their priorities should lie if this 2-score differential remains, Monkey Man.
Yeah, and it feels like it will remain for a long time, because this team right now in OCU is playing very loose. Tater uncontested from floor to sky, and they get it all the way to the goal line. Fluke is there to answer, but you know, if a commentator is talking about how awesome your defense is, that's fantastic, but gotta find on the opposite end to balance it out some extra goals as well. Every time they've walked into defensive territory of the Stars, they have been met at the door and they have been kicked back.
Yeah, just immediately, just quite literally immediately. I mean, here it goes again. What is probably beginning of another 15 seconds or so with this ball living in the Wayne State College a third of the pitch. Might be some corner play. I mean, especially given that there's no real pressure against them. Hey, just continue to do that. If you're giving this one up and you're not getting it centered up, well, hey, Wayne State looking beautiful. Oh, no! Tater, okay, so Tater might have been in position there. Tater might have been in position, but those are the shots that you got to take.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to take a very finessed online shot, which is fine. And, you know, sometimes you outthink yourself, which I felt like that one was definitely definitive of what Wayne State College has been bringing to this series. I was thinking that this one might go deep. 3-0 sweep is currently online and living very well with an insurance goal here for the Stars. And this clock has been ticking loud and fast. 50 seconds to go. The Wildcats, if they were ever to strike, it's got to be now, and you're getting these rotational issues. Rage having to retreat again.
Yeah, 38 seconds. You said it best. There's nothing louder than a ticking clock right now for Wayne State. 5-0, taking on 5-0. Neither team has faced defeat in a match quite yet. Yeah, OKC has faced map losses. If this doesn't go south for them soon, They will not have faced a map loss against another undefeated squad.
Oh.
There's a shot! Oh my goodness. Does not land right there. 13 seconds to go. Wayne State purchasing a little bit of wiggle room, but that one's just a little bit to the outside. With 7 seconds to go and ball on their side of the pitch, I'm going to call it. That's the third. That's definitely the end.
Nickel with a heck of a save to make sure that this stayed 2-0, and it became an opposite goal swing in favor of the Stars. With 3 up, only 4 seconds here in Game 3. That 3-0 is going to stay on lock. Congratulations. The continuation of a perfect season goes to the Stars. Wayne State College will see themselves drop 1. Hopefully that's going to be a motivator going into the final week of the season. Number 1 seed stays with OKC.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the numbers here on this map a little bit. Then I want to talk to you about the... Wow. Dude, look at that. You almost couldn't have done this better. What, you take one of the shots away from Nickel, you give it to Mira, that's about as even as it gets. 2 saves total, well, you can't split that across 3 people. 1 assist for everybody, 1 goal for everybody. 100% participation, but between goal and assist every single time. Here's another one for you. 3-2. 3-1, 3-0. I'm not counting down here. I'm counting at the overall team scores from Game 1 to Game 3. OKC barely takes it down in the first one, scores 3s themselves. Wayne State takes down 2, relatively close, right? 3-1 in Game number 2. Wayne State does sneak 1 in there, but it was still OKC taking down 3 goals. They do the same exact thing in the third. Market improvement for them. And there's really only a couple other teams you could say that it would have been better to do that against than Wayne State College. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? If there was ever a time to really impress everyone as well as let everyone know that there was just no one to beat them, it's definitely going to be now. So second to last week of the regular season, and Oklahoma City University, job well done. 3-0 sweep. They're going to be going into the final week feeling really good about it and possibly going undefeated to assure themselves that number 1 seed. We had a lot of awesome matches tonight, Tugboat. It was a couple of Div 3 matches, a Div 4 match. The first couple delivered. This one, I mean, it delivered at the same level, and I feel like this is actually a good pre-playoff notion for a lot of these upper crust teams in these divisions to keep themselves frosty. Final thoughts before we sign off.
Yeah, I mean, really, obviously the best news here for the Wayne State College squad is they're almost still, barring some mathematical wizardry, completely within the playoffs. Now you're just talking about seeding and whatnot. As at the end of the day, fantastic shot here, but it's kind of interesting, right? We anticipated, like, a longer match in the first one, right? 4-1 Warriors Gold, 4-1 University of Delaware. We got 4 games. We expected a longer one in the second match of the day, 3-1 there for the side of the Seahawks, and the last 2 games go to overtime. This one is the one I think we both agreed the most on that we might see a Game 5. It goes all the way down in 3-0 fashion, sweep all the way for the OKC, and a shutout in Game number 3. Fantastic. I cannot wait for the postseason, man.
Yeah, postseason is going to be a wild thing. November is going to have lit up scoreboards, but that doesn't mean that this season is over yet. We still have another week. The final week of the regular season is going to be happening next week, but don't miss out on final NECC action tomorrow as Friday at 7 p.m. It will be Overwatch 2 to fill up your screens. Of course, all the collegiate action here with NECC, you can find it here on this lovely Twitch channel as well as on YouTube. You can check out NECC Esports as well on all their socials. Thank you so much to our awesome producer and Exotic, to all the teams that competed today, and of course to yourself, Tugboat, that joined me, Hell Monkey Man, for all of you that have been out there cheering for all of your squads. You guys have a fantastic spooky Halloween night, and we'll see you next time.
You work hard and play hard. You need real fuel to power your day. Not some tofu stuffed rice cake or plant-based meat substitute. No, you need honest-to-goodness, homegrown, protein-packed power in a stick. You need Wenzel's Farm. Quality cuts of meat handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked for a great-tasting snack that delivers real energy. Power up and put the smack down on whatever your day brings with Wenzel's Farm. Real meat for real life.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.